Welcome to the 10-Day Growth Hacking Challenge with your host, Nader Sabri. Today, we are here with Kareem Halal with ProTenders. We're here looking at a data science explosion about to take place in the construction industry in a highly strategic way. Before we get started, this is based on the growth thinking methodology. If you like what's happening in the challenge, you can pick up a copy and do this for yourself at home or whatever business you're building. Today, we're looking at a very interesting business run by Kareem. They're very, very deep into data to a point that will blow your mind away. They're in an industry where transparency can be questionable at times. And in order for very strategic decisions to take place, strategic insights through the data they provide are crucial. So this is the overall. The growth challenges that we're dealing with is awareness, customer acquisition, and expanding on the data capability in a profitable way. Today, we're talking about hack number one. I'm going to let Kareem take the floor, talk about what has happened with hack number one, and we'll go from there. Kareem.
Thank you, Nader. Thank you very much for having us. So hack number one that we spoke about is how do we generate more leads? How do we bring people to the platform and that in a very explosive kind of way? We already had that. And in a way, it was how do we reinforce the messaging that if you're not on the platform, you're missing out on the actual traffic you'd be getting out of it. Because again, ProTenders, big value that you can do everything from a single platform. You can get your stuff found, you can connect with other people, you can sell it, you can bid, you can look at the industry. So it becomes a one-stop shop for you to expand your business, wherever you are in the world. So the hack number one is how do we increase that FOMO for you to be there? And so the idea is to actually add a counter to the homepage or to a bunch of different places that we're going to send out, showing exactly how much transactions are happening on the platform, how much value is being processed, how many customers are signing up. So what are the key aspects that we're going to be showing for people to understand, well, they can't afford not to be on it effectively. And so this is the thing we spoke about. We've started to implement it in different places. We started looking at ways for us to, so we started looking at what are the key metrics we can show or we should show to the customers. And we have number of signups, we have number of transactions, number of RFQs, and we have number of the bid value being processed on the platform. So right now what we're doing is we're actually implementing these measures to make sure that we get them quickly enough, and we'll be showing them on the website next day or two.
Awesome.
And from there, we'll be able to measure it.
So awesome. So stepping back, this hack is super crucial because although you guys are not involved in the direct transaction, meaning you are not responsible for carrying a product and collecting money, that's what we're defining as transaction. But the thing is, you create massive amount of value so transactions actually can happen. And so this is a really crucial measure because that is a measure instantaneously in a single number and in segmented numbers that come with it for someone to understand how successful this platform is. It allows for people in the general public to understand the size and potency of this marketplace, but people inside the industry, especially those adjacent to this industry, like an investment, government, and other people who want to work within the construction space need to understand how valuable this marketplace is. Although they don't get involved in the direct transaction as of yet, but they're able to create value because those transactions happen because of them. Those will be measured and put up front. The benefit of this is not also do you get credibility and awareness, but you're able to leverage that. And that's where I think the next steps with this would be. And that allows you to work and communicate through the general media and online to describe to people the value being created through this marketplace. It's an excellent way to quantify what is happening. So Kareem, that's, I think, it's a very simple hack for you guys. It's an easy thing to implement, which is good news. Have you given some thought once you've got that in place, how you can leverage it? I know we'll be talking about that in some of the other hacks, but have you thought a little bit more about how else that can be leveraged or used once we've got that concrete value there?
The value of having the customers in, the value of having what exactly?
Well, the counter. So the value of having that counter and segmenting that counter. So for example, if you're doing like a 10, 20, $100 million worth of transactions a day, that's really important information, I think, that people would love to know and understand. Have you thought of how to utilize that? Besides the fact that you can probably do some great media around it or create stories around it, have you thought of any other way that can actually be used?
So what we actually want to do is we actually thought about it, and what we had planned even a couple of years ago, but we never ended up implementing it, was actually providing real-time dashboards of the industry. So because we have all the data about it, we have all the different parts, it's actually providing a simple high-level dash view of the whole industry using our database. So showing you what's being built, how much value is being built, where is it being built, what's the brand, and you can play with the system interactively. It's not that hard to do because again, we have the whole data, and that would allow people to really understand the breadth and wealth of data that we have, and that would make them, we reinforce the purpose that whether you're a media company, government entity, or even a customer wants to get data, you come to us to get data, right? But again, data is only one part of it. There's more things happening, but that's one of the easiest ways to vehiculate how much of a critical platform ProTenders is for the industry.
Exactly. And what I love about this is it's low friction, high impact, because you guys can implement it really quick, really easy, because you've got the numbers. That's the beauty. You're a data rich company. Now, the high impact here is that when people understand how valuable this is, and that's the key thing, is creating the value, which you already are, but then communicating the value so people understand, you know, how valuable this platform is. I bet you that there's a lot of people using your platform don't actually realize how much value is actually created using this platform. I mean, on an aggregate level, they may understand their own, may surprise them, and it might be a great way to recommunicate with some of the people existing in the system and using it to get potency levels up again, or, you know, move them around, get them doing more interactivity. And keeping trackers, I think, could be an interesting one. So like, if you take the overall value and you break it down into segments, because you guys are very well segmented, those kinds of trackers could be icing on the cake for journalists. So connecting with journalists in the construction or real estate, let's call it like that, industry, who are looking for juicy numbers to bite into and using you as a source. I think this would be excellent because you can become an excellent citation source. And then on top of that, with the trackers, people then can bring that data to life, right? They can actually make sense of it. Because I think there's a lot more that can be done with it. And it's just, the only bottleneck you have is creativity. That's it.
And funds, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
exactly.
It all comes together.
Exactly.
But that's the thing. I mean, I think since you can pull it off, since you've got it in there, it's a matter of, have you ever connected with people in the media before? I think you had a hack that you showed me before, right? Yeah.
Well, there were a couple of things we were doing. We actually connected with the media companies about 3 years ago. One of the ways we actually started off this massive explosion that we had was by connecting with one of the biggest media companies in Dubai. And we basically struck a deal where we would showcase, every time they would mention a company or a project that we covered, we would show a bit of an underline under the project name, and people could just hover over it and they could see the whole data about this company and project. That was one of the things that we did that was effectively a day of work and really helped, spark the explosion of traffic that we got to the platform. And so we're always looking to do more of these things, because for me, this is called riding somebody else's wave. You find somebody who's bigger than you and you find a way to collaborate with him to ride his wave. And then once you become bigger than him, you find somebody else to ride the wave, or you compound different waves. So, that's the way I've looked at this platform since day one.
Yeah. And I think that's the right way to look at it. You're naturally thinking like a growth hacker, right? How to tap into something bigger than you and activate it. And so since you've done it once very well or twice, you need to replicate that and continuously keep that motion going, because it's paid off once. It'll pay off again, and as it compounds, it'll continuously pay off. So it's probably good to go back to whoever you're doing it with before, find people who are alternatives or competitors to them, and other places that may have not been touched or utilized. So I think some of the general interest media, one thing I've learned about media is general interest media, although you may be in a specialized area, can play a very vital role because they can actually get you a lot more attention than some of the specialized media. It sounds weird. I learned this from an industry insider who actually showed me how that worked. So going to like the National, for example, or Gulf News or Khalid Times, or some of this more regionalized news outlets, they'll obviously have somebody who is dedicated to real estate and construction. You probably would make him look like a superstar. And that's what this is about. It's just making that guy or girl look like a superstar and then integrating it into what they're doing. Maybe creating a quarterly custom report that uses your data. You never know, but open for all kinds of creativity, and then just keeping it consistent, man. Just repeating what worked.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's it, man. It's very simple.
I agree.
Low friction.
Perfect.
High impact. Perfect. So now that's hack number 1. We'll see you in hack number 2. For those who are tuning in and want to know more about Karim and what he does, hit below, go to the description, learn more, and definitely connect with him if you'd like to know more about him, want to connect with him, or anything else. Just reach out. For those who are just tuning out as we go out, just as a quick reminder, this challenge is based on the growth thinking methodology based on this book. You can do the same things that we're doing by getting this book and using it. We'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks, Karim.
Thanks, Thank you, guys.